Whoops-a-daisy, what's going on here? It's not moving forward. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today basically is something that's very controversial, and that is how to prevent your death from cancer. After all, your health is your wealth, and without it, there's nothing else that matters at all. And the thing is, why would we just survive when we can thrive? That's the key, is it not? But let's get real for a minute here, okay? It's really easy to get hunkered down in your life doing the same old, isn't it? You know, that unhealthy couch potato lifestyle that so many of us live. We eat the same unhealthy fast food, the same unhealthy fast foods or convenience foods on a day-in, day-out basis, and we forget to take care of ourselves. Is that not right? You know, and the sad tragedy of it is, and I see this all the time in my practice, is that it's not until you or a loved one gets diagnosed with the big C word, cancer, that we start taking responsibility. And that's the sad fact. The truth is, though, it's a lot quicker and a lot easier than you think to get and stay healthy word in the first place. And who am I anyway, right? Who's Dr. Marilyn Joyce? Well, I wear a lot of hats, as most of us do. I'm a cancer specialist. I have a cancer concierge service, radio show host, interviewer, speaker, writer, author, professional coach, entrepreneur, nutritionist, expert in educator, and my clients call me a transformational agent, and I'm truly a global citizen. I believe that the world, through social media and other sources, has become a very small planet, and I'm sure many people agree with me on that. I know we were saying that at the Natural Products Expo when there were 65,000 of us milling around from all different parts of the world. It was pretty amazing. And you can see here I've been in a lot of print media. I won't go through all of this here, but I've been on a lot of TV shows over the years. I have amazing clients over the years, everything from the USPS, the United States Postal Service, to Whole Foods, to Xerox and Boeing and the YMCA, to the FBI, and on it goes. And I've had a lot of cancer-related clients as well, including Cancer as a Turning Point, the American Cancer Society, Susan G. Komen, the wellness community, and so the list goes on there as well. So the fact of the matter is that my current passion projects are the following things. I'm excited about, and will share with you, my Kick Cancer in the Can expert interview series. It was to be launched last year, but due to the death of someone very close to me who was going to be participating, the series has been postponed to this year, but it is getting launched this year. I have a Kick Cancer in the Can group coaching program. I also have my private platinum VIP coaching clients that I will counsel one-on-one. The Dr. Marilyn Joyce weekly show, which many of you have responded to and listened to, and my Kick Cancer in the Can weekly quick tips, which many of you have subscribed to. So thank you for that. And we will be launching at some point this year, we hope, the Young and the Ageless digital magazine, an expert interview series that will go with that. My personal passions are, and I want you to think about this for yourself. Why am I alive today? And we're going to talk about my journey with cancer in a minute. But why am I alive today when I may not have been here had life taken a different turn? Well, I believe that a lot of it is that I do have passions. And when you have passions in your life, whether it be one passion or several, it's what keeps you going. It's what keeps you going in the face of anything in your life that might be deemed as negative, or that being in many people's cases, cancer. So my passions involve mentoring young people. I believe very strongly that, you know, cancer is the manifestation of unresolved emotional issues, and if we can start mentoring young people, and not only mentoring them with their emotional issues, but also the food they put in their mouths and the environment we're creating, we can change the face of things when it comes to cancer. I really dig in my heels when I'm coaching cancer patients because I want to see them survive and thrive. Coaching and educating caregivers is really key because, you know, we know that many caregivers die giving care to the patient, whether they're the professional caregiver or the loved one. I like taking a complex and making it simple and then educating through speaking and writing. And of course, I love walking on the beaches and in the mountains. So give me either, give me both. I'm a happy girl. And think about that for yourself. What is it that rejuvenates you? Journaling and meditation are so key to my life, and I often meditate actually while I'm walking in the mountains. Traveling and discovering our world is a very key thing. How many of you enjoy that? I'm sure a lot of you do. Being creative and being inspirational are very key for me. And global sustainability is one of my very strong passions as well, along with health and nutrition. So it's really showing people how to create their best health ever and live a happy, healthy, joyful life, right? So how many of you are on the same page with me on that? Just give yourselves a pat in the back if you are. My background, as I mentioned, is a speaker and trainer, and that's for over 40 years. I'm a professional counselor, coach, and caregiver. I'm the author of several best-selling books and programs. I'm also a keynote speaker and spokesperson and have been for many companies over the years. And it's very interesting when I go to the Natural Products Expo. I didn't realize it, but I've been going for 30 years. I only missed 1 year. So it's been around 30 years, and I've been there for the bulk of that time. So it's a very, very powerful thing to go there and realize how many of the companies I've worked for and with over the years. I've overcome abuse in all forms, living on the streets at the age of 14 and suffering eating disorders as well as cancer following that time on the streets. You have to excuse my voice after 4 days of speaking to hundreds of people. I'm fighting to hold on to it here. I've traveled and I've lived in many fascinating and beautiful places around the world. And you can see pictures of a couple of them. One is the little girl in Tibet, and the other one is Machu Picchu. That's just two of the many places. And I've not only survived, but I've thrived. I actually thrive today, despite my voice being a little crackly. And how many of you have places that inspire you? I challenge you to think about a couple of places that have inspired you over your lifetime and put those on your wall to remind you that you've been there and experienced those things. For me, it was the Galapagos Islands, because that's where I really did some very significant soulful reflections. That was in the 80s. And then the capital of Scotland, which is my homeland. I'm a Scots girl from Auchtermuchty, actually. But my dad was from Edinburgh. He lived and died in Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is one of the most beautiful cities in the world in my mind, because it's got, that's Princess Street that I put a picture up of, and you can see that on one side it's all gardens and the castle, and on the other side, excuse me, on the other side it's all shops, stores, as we'd say in America, but shops over there. So I'm a very blessed woman today. I've, done book signings and spoken in all parts of the world, and there's a lovely picture of Dave Sheahan and I, my friend from Ireland, who's now transported to England. And yes, I do eat chocolate, and here you can see I've got groups of friends that I've been with, and done book signings all over the world as well. I'm not sure if I said that, but I have. But it wasn't always this great. The conflicts within me took their toll. And I want you, as I go through these, I'm just going to kind of read through them. I want you to think about this with respect to yourself. Because if any of these, if you put a check mark beside any of them, you want to really start to look at that. Perfectionism, workaholism. These were the conflicts within me. So just think about this for yourself. Perfectionism, workaholism, success at any cost attitude, working long hours at a job I hated. I still work long hours, but at least I love the work I'm doing. Family conflicts, nobody. This has been in your body, which I mentioned earlier. And sporadic self-care, usually with guilt. How many of you have gone and gotten your nails done or had a massage and actually felt guilty about it? Maybe you thought you were taking money out of the household funds to do that kind of thing. Forgetting that you need to take care of you. One of the lessons I've learned, and I've heard it so many times on an airplane, and you hear it so often, oxygen mask, not here to, you can't put it on anybody else. So you've got to take care of you first, and we often forget that. And it's not about egocentricity here. We're talking about the fact of life. You can only take care of others is what cancer. 88 pounds in a wheel. I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't walk. I couldn't work. 2 weeks till later, I was dosed for at least 2 years due to my age. I was just a youngin'. And usually uterine cancer in the old days used to hit older people. Not today. I left no stone unturned. I knew there had to be a way to beat cancer. I knew there had to be. I endured, and I emphasize endured 3 rounds of chemo, and then I quit. You see, I knew that I was not going to get well with the chemo. For me, it was just bolus chemo, and then I was left to basically throw up and die. I looked into every alternative treatment available, and I literally traveled the globe and worked with the best cancer specialists that the world had to offer. Here's the thing. I took action on what I discovered. and left no stone unturned, as I said. I started seeing small results, and then I relapsed, and then I saw some bigger results, and then I relapsed again, and I kept looking for the new and better missing pieces to fit into this jigsaw puzzle I called overcoming cancer, right? But the key is I took action. You know, I always tell people, inaction is cancer's best friend and your worst enemy. If you don't take action, that cancer is going to grow. You've heard the expression, a stitch in time saves 9. You got to do the same thing when it comes to cancer. Don't wait. All too often I've seen too many people leave the planet prematurely because they just didn't take action. And I did just about give up. I will tell you the truth, I did. And I want you to think about this as I go through this list of reasons, because this is what happens to most, if not all, cancer patients. There's too many options in treatments and practitioners that are available. And now with the internet, my gosh, in the 80s we didn't have the internet and all of that research that we could do. So people are reading endlessly things on the computer. In fact, what many of my patients say to me is that I save them thousands of hours of time wasted in front of the computer and thousands of dollars wasted on products that are irrelevant for their condition, because I've done the research already for them. Okay, too many well-meaning friends giving advice. How many hands go up for that one, right? Everyone has got an answer for you. Have they been where you are? Probably not, but they still have answers for you, and they're throwing them at you left, right, and center. I was overwhelmed with fear, panic, and pain, both emotional pain and physical pain. I didn't know where to start or what to do first. I couldn't keep up with all of the treatments. Are you hearing this? How many of you have been there? My body and my life actually became a science experiment. It was one thing after another that I tried. The good news was when I did try something, I tried it to the end of the treatment. I didn't just go in and, you know, dabble. Dabblers die. You've got to do it and complete it, and then once it's worked, great. If it didn't work, then you try something new. I was sinking into the quicksand of self-pity. Boy, I tell you, that pity pot was a regular throne for me. And I was just too tired to look for or try anything more. But finally, I remembered the 5 keys to health, and that's whole person health. And then I got the right help. I got super focused on health, not cancer, not overcoming cancer, but on health. What you focus on expands. Think about that. What you focus on expands. If you're constantly focused on the cancer, what are you going to get more of? Cancer. Focus on health. What are you going to get more of? Health. And I got well. 25 plus years cancer-free, and I'm the vitality doctor today with more energy and vitality than most people in their 20s, and I'm many decades beyond my 20s. I can tell you that people were passing, you know, I won't say passing out, but people were falling on into chairs who were a third of my age at the Natural Products Expo. They just couldn't keep up. They couldn't deal with it. They were getting sick with colds the second day in, and they weren't anywhere close to my age. It's a very hectic thing to go to a Natural Products Expo where there's 5,000 booths and 65,000 people, and you're milling around on 4 floors in an arena and trying to see as much as you possibly can and speak to as many people as you can. And many people couldn't make it through the 4 days that I made it through. So, you know, it's how is that possible? By following these keys that you're going to learn. My 5-key system is literally about redefining what's possible for your health and your life so that you can experience more of what life has to offer with unlimited energy, confidence, and joy, and be cancer-free to boot. And because I'm the master of 5-minute healthy strategies that anyone can do anywhere, anytime, you're going to receive or leave this webinar, pardon me, with 3 of my quickest and easiest steps to jumpstart your health regime into high gear today. And you'll get a very special gift, only for those, though, who stay to the end. Anyway, the most important thing here is that I can't give you everything in the short time we have together, but I'm going to give you some really useful tips that you can immediately use and change your life in an instant. Okay, but before we do that, I just want to remind you that 1 in 3 people in developed countries will develop cancer in our lifetime, quickly becoming 1 in 2. The fact of the matter is it's 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men right now, compared to 1 in 50 in 1950. That's a huge increase. And in the U.S., cancer has been the #1 killer for at least the past 2 years, superseding heart disease actually more than 3 times now. I think it's 5 times since the year 2000. Girls as young as 12 and even in one case 5 years old are developing breast cancer. This is ridiculous. Kids are developing breast cancer and not even experiencing their youth. Testicular cancer in young men is on the rise every year, and it literally kills. The top 4 cancers, though, are diet and lifestyle related. That means they're preventable. If people have the facts, the strategies, the tips and tools to start taking responsibility for their own health, they can actually reverse that potential. Great, right? Most cancer patients, by the way, don't die from cancer. They die from malnutrition as the hideous side effects from the cut, burn, and poison treatments that we know. I'm not saying there's no place for them, but I'm saying that if that's all you're going to do, you're probably not going to survive. And you're definitely not going to thrive. So what's all the buzz about genes? We constantly hear about genes. Well, here's the deal. I'm not talking about the genes you wear. I'm talking about the genes that you have in your body. What is it that happens? Here we have women in Tokyo, 1 in 33 of them might develop breast cancer, right? Yet somehow on that flight across from Japan to America, their genes change. Now, is that logical? No, their genes don't change, do they? No, the genes don't change. What changes is the diet and lifestyle. So your genes are the gun. Your lifestyle is the trigger, right? Your diet and your lifestyle are the trigger. They're not the gun. You don't have to develop cancer. You have to focus on shifting your diet and lifestyle. And I'm not saying that there's no involvement of the environment there too, but you have to combat the environment or the environmental issues with what you put in your body and how you take care of your body. Now, I believe that this is a major problem. Obesity is rampant. In the Western world, 70% of us are overweight or obese. And so many people blame their poor little thyroid gland. And I'm not saying that there's not a thyroid issue involved here, but 9 times out of 10 when I work with people and they've been told it's their thyroid, after we do a massive detox and a good, really clean their body out and then give their body the proper nutrition and the right lifestyle habits, it's only probably about 10% of the population that actually do have a thyroid issue, if even that. As opposed to what we're hearing is more like 50 or 60% the way we're going now. We're blaming our poor little thyroid. And I believe that we've got to just take charge. So as I said, in 2010, and it's the same today, but these are the most recent stats that are available that I could post. You can see that the top 4 cancers are diet and lifestyle related. As I said, that's prostate cancer, breast cancer, lung, and colon cancer. They can be reversed by the way that we eat and the things that we do to protect our body through lifestyle habits. Okay? And I wanted to show you the worldwide cancer rate. So you can see for men worldwide, it's lung and bronchial cancer. For women, it's breast. Estimated deaths, it's 951,000 from lung cancer and 450,000 from breast cancer. That's the global stats at the top. And you can see the rest are, they're all listed here. Now, worldwide cancer rates in developing countries, it's lung for men, breast for women. Interesting, right? That's the same thing again. And this is global, worldwide in developing countries. Okay. Now, worldwide cancer rates in developed countries, it's prostate cancer for men and breast cancer for women. However, the cancer deaths are 412,000 from lung, and with women, 190,000 for breast cancer. So you can see that in the developed countries, the cancer rates are the highest are prostate cancer and breast cancer, followed by lung and then colon, right? Okay. So I just wanted to give you an overview of the world stats. Now, cancer's everywhere, and what can we do about it? Well, the fact of the matter is vegetables and fruits are loaded with cancer-fighting natural ingredients. Antioxidants, bioflavonoids, fiber, phytochemicals, those special, unique substances in plants. In fact, with phytochemicals, in 1991, we only knew of about 12,500 phytonutrients. We didn't know what families they were in, and we didn't know what they did in 3,000 phytonutrients, and we know what families they're in, and we know what they do in the body. How many more are we going to know about in 10 more years from now? This is the thing. So to take a supplement with 50 nutrients in it, most of the man-made versions, how can that possibly protect our bodies? We need to get back to what's natural. Okay, so what are my 5 essential keys? Well, very quickly, you have to learn how to breathe, and the first step is to exhale first. If you don't exhale fully first, you cannot fully inhale. That's it in a nutshell. You've got to learn how to let it all out, blow it all out, and then you can breathe in much more fully. So that you're blowing it all out, and then when you breathe in so your abdominal area expands and your chest expands. That's a full breath. Nutrition excellence daily, not weekly, not monthly, and not January 1st or the 1st of the month. It's like every day. Can you cheat and have something? Absolutely. Do you think I walked around that Natural Products Expo and didn't eat my favorite food, which is dark chocolate? You can bet I tried as many versions of dark chocolate as I could do without getting sick. Of course, they were small samples, and that's the key as well, right? A little of everything is good as long as you pick the best. The thing is, it's quality, not quantity. Quality, not quantity. I want you to think about that. That's in everything in life, but especially when we're talking about nutrition. And then exercise for cellular rejuvenation is key. It's not just exercise for exercise's sake. We want to do exercise that's going to impact us on a cellular level of rejuvenation. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then relax, rejuvenate, and meditate. You've got to take time out to meditate and take care of your soul. It's one thing taking care of your body, which you do with the breathing, nutrition, and the exercise, but you've got to take care of the soul as well. And of course, that'll take care of the body as well, taking time out. If you don't relax, and you can't rejuvenate. And a gratitude attitude is key. It's absolutely key. And it's your 5 keys. In my book, Instant Energy, I have hundreds of keys, but the most important key is the key you'll do. Right? It's the same as exercise. What's the best exercise for you? The exercise you'll do. But the key here is getting the right keys for you going. So you pick the keys that work for you now, and they may change. Let me get some water here. Those keys can change. I mean, the keys don't change. The 5 keys you see here are the 5 keys. But the strategies that you use will change, and I should rephrase that. The strategies, there's hundreds of strategies in Instant Energy, and you pick the ones that are best for you. So they're your 5 keys. And let's go through a few of these things here. Exhale first. I find the easiest way to incorporate this breathing is by doing what I call the sun salutation. It only takes 5 minutes to do 5 sequences. So there's 12 movements. I know you don't see 12 movements there. That's just a pick to show you the way you start in a meditative place, the stretching that's involved, forward and backwards. And as you do it, it's like breathing through the process. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. It's deep breathing. Remember, you're exhaling first, which is what you see in that very first picture with the palms together. You're blowing it all out, and then you begin breathing. Okay, so it's 12 sequences, and if you want to know how to do it, you can go to transformstressnow.com, www.transformstressnow.com, and in the little search box at the top, not the Google search, the search box on the website, you put in sun salutation and a video will come up, and it will walk you right through the entire process. Now in the evening I do this again, but I do the sequence of 12 movements only once. Why? Because in the evening I'm relaxing. I call it the moon salutation in the evening. And what I'm doing is relaxing and preparing for bed. So in the morning I'm doing 5 sequences of 12 movements over 5 minutes. So 1 sequence of 12 movements per minute. Get it? Okay, and you'll be able to learn how to do that with that video. The next aspect is nutrition excellence daily, and what I recommend to people is that they drink a lot of water. You want to drink your body weight in half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 130 pounds, that would be 65 ounces, and you can go up from there. Now if you're an athlete, you want to drink a lot more water, but don't drown yourself in water. Just drink to feel satisfied. You can see here I have a lot of fresh produce. The healthiest cultures in the world eat 9 to 13 servings of fresh, raw fruits and vegetables every day. Now, I use a product called Juice Plus that's basically encapsulated fruits and vegetables. It's labeled as food. It's globally available. And that's that bridges the gap, especially when I'm on the road speaking or when I'm at a natural products expo. It bridges the gap between where I am and what I should be doing. Now, I eat better than most people I know, but I still feel the necessity to bridge the gap. There's certain other things I also include, such as vitamin D, because although I live in sunny California, I don't always get out in the sun. And here's a little piece of information for you. You don't absorb the rays through glass. So even sitting in the car, you might get a sunburn or you might turn brown, but you are not getting the nutrients you need to produce vitamin D in your body. Okay? So it's Nutrition Excellence Daily, lots of fruits and vegetables. Whole grains are very critical, I believe, but I like them in the sprouted form. So I will take whole grains and legumes, beans, peas, lentils, and sprout them. And if I don't have time to sprout them myself, I will buy sprouted legumes and beans and whole grains. But 9 times, it's so easy to sprout that I like to do the sprouting. And by the way, if you're eating bread, you're better off to get sprouted bread or Ezekiel bread than you are to get regular bread. Now, interestingly enough, at the Natural Products Expo, there was a new bread that was introduced with 12 whole grains. And it's an amazing bread with a high protein content per slice, 6 grams of protein. But that's very rare. Most bread is high in carbs. It has a higher glycemic index than you should probably be eating. And cancer is a sugar feeder, so we're looking at all the ways to reduce the sugar. Fruit is not your way to reduce sugar, cutting out fruit. That is not your way. Fruit is a natural product that grows out of the ground or off a tree. You want to be eating fruit. Now, you could opt for lower sugar varieties of fruits, such as berries. Raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, black currants, etc. Currants, yeah, black currants, whatever. You want to get the natural fruits. Those are the lower sugar fruits, the berries. Not grapes, berries, okay. And then you also want to be reading your labels. It's interesting. As I walked around the plethora of booths at the Natural Products Expo, it was actually shocking to me. I remember when there used to be fruit and vegetable stands there many, many years ago, and now they've been replaced with one snack food after another, one packaged processed food after another. It was actually shocking to my system, and I would pick up the label, and yes, there was a decrease. The trends were no high fructose corn syrup. They're all moving towards the label being on saying non-GMO. Becoming non-GMO verified is a big deal. Now, that's over here in Europe. They've already put the kibosh on GMOs. But over in America, North America, this is a really big hot topic. And, it's a challenge. But you want to be sure that sugar is sugar no matter what it is. So whether it's dextrose or fructose, molasses, honey, turbinado sugar, brown sugar, corn syrup, sucrose, or high fructose corn syrup, it's sugar. And you can see in the picture that I have there, and if you're not looking at the picture, it goes everything from salad dressings to peanut butter or nut butters to ketchup to syrups that you put in your coffee to even to vitamin pills and hamburgers and all those foods. Even French fries have sugar in them, added to them. You want to be looking for foods that don't contain those. And remember, 4 grams of sugar equals 1 teaspoon, and it doesn't matter what it is. Read the label. The less sugar, the better. If possible, no added sugar is best. And I'm not talking about, aspartame and Equal and NutraSweet and Sweet 10 and all those things being used instead, or sucralose. That's the next thing. Splenda, sucralose. Stay away from those. Stevia is one of the few sweeteners that I actually recommend, other than pure maple syrup if you need a little bit of sweetener. And the top 6 worst ingredients in my book are aspartame, which, by any other name, NutraSweet Equal, it's all the same thing. Monosodium glutamate, you'll often see it listed as MSG. Hydrolyzed vegetable protein, yep, that is a bad one. Now, there are more natural forms, and you might find a really healthy natural food that has this on the label. Make sure it's the last ingredient. Hydrogenated fats, trans fatty acids, you want to stay away from them. with all your might. Just avoid them like the plague, as well as nitrites or nitrates. And sulfites should be on there as well. Avoid them like the plague. Anything labeled as refined, enriched, and fortified should be avoided as well. Now, you know, here's some bonus tips. If you're on a budget, it's no problem. Buy fresh fruits and vegetables in season. Buy the healthy foods that are on sale. You know, look at the sales first. Even I am cognizant of that kind of thing and do that myself. You know, it's like you know, where I am, avocados are very expensive. Yes, I'll buy more when they're on sale, and I'll eat more of them when they're on sale. I'll still buy them when they're not, because they're a very healthy source of omega-3 fatty acids and other fats as well, essential fatty acids. So stock up on healthy snacks to eat at home and carry with you to work and school and events. And if you want to know about what those are, if you haven't already checked out my Kick Cancer in the Can weekly quick tips, every week I cover something that's relevant to you, from healthy snacks to healthy things to put on your skin to healthy things to carry with you to healthy things to clean your home with, whatever it is, anything to protect you. Listen to that. And every year I do several shows on the Natural Products Expo, the things I found there, the trends that are happening, the healthy snacks that I found. There are a lot that are not healthy, and you don't want to be eating them. And I'll post things on Facebook and Twitter, especially on Facebook, where you get to choose which would you choose or suspect is the healthiest of this and that. And I'm really amazed at how many of you actually do get it right. You're really on the right page. It's critical. Awareness is key to making better choices. So stock up with healthy snacks, healthy things that you can carry with you. Brown bag your kids' lunches and your own. You know, instead of giving them money to buy that, excuse the word, but it's basically crap at the school cafeteria overall. Instead of giving them money for that, give them healthy foods in their lunch bags or lunch boxes or whatever they carry. Banish the high-fat, sugar, salt foods from your cupboards and your desks. And skip the packaged prepared foods, meals, and desserts. You know, it can take 10 minutes. If you got my book, Instant Energy, you know, or my tofu book, I can't believe it's tofu, those are 3 to 5 minute recipes. You can prepare a healthy meal from scratch in about 10 minutes, maybe top 15. It can take as long to defrost and then heat a meal in a microwave. And it's nothing compared to what you've got. Just look at the sodium levels of most of those packaged processed foods. And then make things like lattes and desserts and take-out food an occasional treat, not the norm. Kids are being raised on party food. No wonder they're developing cancer at 5 years of age. You know, let's get back to the basics here and eat healthy food. And if you smoke, I'm telling you, quit. It's expensive and it's deadly. You know, you've heard the expression, you are what you eat. It's so key. I mean, I could spend hours just on the food and hours just on the exercise and lifestyle. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time today, and I don't, because I have a full client load this afternoon. But I really want you to understand we are what we eat. So it's critical to eat your colors. You can see there's red, purple, orange, orange, yellow, yellow, green, green, white, blue, blue, and purple. You want to get all those colors in every week. You don't have to get them in every day, but you have to get them in every week. It's critical. Color your diet. Super healthy. I love that expression. Eat your colors. So, so key. Okay? And there's the pyramid of energy that I created with the help of a wonderful artist. So here you can see it. This is what you need to have every day in your life. Those are the 5 keys in a depiction, right? The things that we talked about, the breathing, the nutrition, the exercise for cellular rejuvenation. And you can see in the pyramid that my favorite is the rebounder, the mini trampoline. And I could spend a lot of time on that, but again, we don't have a lot of time to spend on that. The most important thing is you understand that it in 5 minutes can do for you what 35 to 45 minutes of running or fast walking can do. Now, don't get me wrong. I still do my walking. I rebound. It regenerates me. It takes care of my bones, because when you develop muscles, muscles are what feed your bones. If you take a bunch of calcium supplements or whatever other supplements for your bones, but you're not moving your body, forget it. They're just going to be, the calcium is just going to be shunted into your joints, and you're going to have arthritic-like symptoms instead of healthy bones. right? You got to get the exercise in, and the NASA has shown that when astronauts come back, they have significant bone density issues that are within a few short weeks of rebounding 5 to 7 minutes a day are completely reversed. So get on the rebounder, build your muscles up. The muscles will feed your bones with the nutrients from the food you eat. And you can see here that, you know, we've got lots of options here with food. If you're a flexitarian, you might eat fish or seafood and eggs. If you're not and you're vegan, that's great. You've got all this plethora of phenomenal foods that you can include, and today we are so blessed with all the dairy alternatives that exist out there, and the nuts and the seeds and the nut butters and seed butters that are available. Make sure you get the least processed of these nut butters, though. You're better off to eat nuts to get your nutrition. Nut butters are second, and avoid any of the commercial brands that have any additives and preservatives to them. Get fresh nut butters if possible, and then refrigerate after opening. And then look for the dairy alternatives, you know, such as tofu or tempeh, or, you know, the almond cheeses. And I'm trying to think of all the different things I saw there. They were amazing. I mean, one of the companies I absolutely love, they now have a new pizza, and I'm not a big pizza lover, but these pizzas were great, and it's called Daiya, D-A-I-Y-A. They have amazing cheeses, and from what I understand, cheese substitutes, but they've got very few ingredients, so they're more natural than many of the others out there. There are lots of alternatives. Believe me, 10, 15 years ago, the alternatives they sucked. I'll just put it to you that way. They did not have the flavor that they have today and the natural ingredients that they have today. And most of the products that I'm talking about, actually all the products I would talk about, would be GMO-free, actually GMO verified, free, and they would be organic as much as possible. So that's what you want to look for. Remember the gratitude attitude. Get a journal or look for the one online. I actually have quick tips on that as well that you can find that tell you, you know, direct you to doing your gratitude journal actually online. I wish I could remember exactly what it is. I think it's gratitude165.com or something like that. Check with me if you can't find it, if you can't find it, and I'll get it to you. Let me get a sip of water here. Had no idea that this Natural Products Expo had really affected my voice that much, because I haven't had to talk to anybody very much for the last day or so. Now, if you woke up breathing, congratulations, you have another chance. And we don't want to just survive, do we? We want to thrive. Isn't that a great picture for thrive? Most of us need a lot more help, right? Knowing the keys is just not enough. You got to actually put them into action. And here's what a client of mine shared. If it weren't for Dr. Marilyn's outstanding counsel, I don't think I would have survived. She's a lifesaver. I highly recommend her service because she really delivers. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. It's letting me know about my next appointment. So it's, you know, you just, you really want to thrive. And so Jenny was one of my, not just survivors, but thrivers. Thank you, Jenny, for your input. So I'm introducing an ongoing Kick Cancer in the Can expert interview series, which will begin, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. What happened here? Here we go. I'm trying to get rid of this thing that's on my computer. I guess I'm just going to have to wait until it goes away. I'm sorry, folks. I always forget to turn that thing off, and I can't get to it to turn it off, so it'll just go off in a minute. It lets me know about what's going on out there, so you can see what's going on in the world in this slide. But anyway, getting back to this, the expert interview series will be about preventing or overcoming cancer. Just imagine this, beating the odds, celebrating your new, vibrantly alive, and completely healed body, and becoming your healthiest self possible, faster, easier, with less effort and stress, and with more relaxed fun and joy than you ever dreamed possible. Are you interested? Great, because it's a 100% free Kick Cancer in the Can expert interview series that's just designed for you. It's to give you everything you need, to give you all of those perks. And at this series, you're going to receive urgent information and education, and it's just going to be 1 hour a week. And at this series, you're going to receive the most timely information, education, tips, tools, and strategies, recipes and resources, hidden secrets, plus access to the top healthcare professionals in the cancer world, including me, plus so much more. And for our expert series, we are blessed to have Stephen Sterling's song. It's an award-winning official theme and anthem song for the Cancer Association of Africa. I often post this on the facebook.com/cancer-in-the-can page. Sorry about this, folks. I will post that again for you so that you'll have access to hear that amazing song. And I want to thank Stephen and his brother from the bottom of my heart for providing this for us. So are you ready for a lot more help? Well, remember that special gift? It's actually 3 gifts that I'm going to give you, and it's going to jumpstart you on your journey back to the best health ever. Whether you have cancer, you're the caregiver for someone who has cancer, or you just want to protect yourself from ever having cancer. And it's a real simple place to go. You just go to this website, http://bit.ly, bit.ly/capital K, capital C, capital I, capital T, capital C, capital E, and then small x, P-E-R-T, capital S, and then small E-I-R-E-S, Kick Cancer in the Can Expert Series. So that it's just the capital letters for Kick Cancer in the Can, and then capital E on Expert, capital S on Series. And once you register for this new series, you'll immediately receive 2 gifts, and then you'll receive shortly thereafter, probably within 24 to 48 hours, we'll give some people time to go in and sign up for this, register for this, and then we'll send out my ebook, which is a pretty new ebook, 10 steps to take today to save your life tomorrow. And these are 10 steps that I use personally and that my patients use, and you will receive that as well after the replay comes down for this webinar. So this is what another patient of mine said. Working with Dr. Marilyn taught me how to be joyous as I walk my journey. What she says is very impactful because it's from her heart. It's totally customized. I felt heard. She's so full of compassion. And for those who already have health challenges, Dr. Marilyn should be the first call they make. Thank you, Judy Cole. I so appreciate your input for that, because that's really what I always try to do, to come from my heart. In fact, many of my patients say they come to me for nutrition and they end up learning how to live. So that's my my strategy there. Dave and I genuinely thank you for joining us today. You know, remember to go to get your free gifts, go to http://bit.ly/KCITCE KCITC, that's all in capitals, Expert Series, with capital on Expert and Series. So that's what I'm offering you, and here is my contact information in case you want to get in touch with me at any point in time. Now, if you're across the ocean, it's going to be a long distance charge to call the live operator, so you might want to contact us at either Marilyn at marilynjoyce.com, MARILYN at marilynjoyce.com, or drmjoyce at verizon.net. That's Verizon, VERIZON.net. So those are 2 options there. And of course, come visit us on our Facebook pages, the Kick Cancer in the Can page. Let us know what you thought of this presentation. What was your takeaway from this? And what's your what is the first step you're going to input in your own life to move forward? So I know I went very quickly here. I wanted to get as much information out to you as possible and provide about 5 minutes for questions and answers before I go on to work with my patient in 10 minutes from now.
Great stuff, Marilyn. Fantastic.
Do you have any questions, Dave?
Yeah, just I put the link in there to get the free gifts. So, you know, make sure you go get them, and then your links that Marilyn mentioned during the call, I put them in as well. Also, what was I going to say? There's one important question I will definitely go through because I'm conscious of your time, Marilyn. Also, I've screenshot taken of this last image in terms of all the links from Marilyn. So, in the email you get tomorrow, that will have access to the replay if you want to watch it again or share it with your friends and family. I'll also include this image, so you'll have all the details of how to contact Marilyn and follow her information. So Marilyn, just before you go, just going to cover this question. It's an important one. It's from Anne. She's actually in Ireland. I had a mammogram and ultrasound on a breast lump 2 years ago. The lump was diagnosed as normal tissue. Now a lump has reoccurred and GP says I need a biopsy and another mammogram. What do you think? And just the second part of it, I got rid of the first lump by detox and fasting and juicing only. I do the same again now, but really is there any need for another mammogram? So what would you feel you'd advise?
Oh, that is a really big question and a tough one. And I personally, I'm not a big fan of having extensive mammograms because there's the potential to spread the cancer. So what I would recommend instead is if you've already been told you have cancer in your breast, then what I might recommend to you instead would be to have a thermogram and see what comes up when you have that. That would be one option. The other thing is just go forward and think health instead of cancer and move forward with the detoxification. And I would go with whole food juicing. You know, I didn't have an opportunity to go through all of that, but that was basically my journey. Juicing only works to a certain extent because, remember, it's higher sugar. So it's higher on the glycemic index, and cancer is a sugar feeder. So it's better instead to use a machine like a Vitamix machine or a Blend Tech or something of that nature, or a really strong blender, and have blended whole foods. You know, like the one gift that you'll get is the recipe page that I use with my cancer patients and have used for 25 years now. And it basically is what I use to get well. It's whole food nutrition in a form that's easier to digest, but without the high glycemic index. So detox is great. You know, I have a whole chapter in Instant Energy on detoxification, and it's a really great detox program, followed by, of course, then taking in healthy, wholesome nutrition from real food. The more whole foods you can consume, the better. And that's the key, because whole food, not stuff in a package or processed food, I'm talking about whole food in whole food form, is the best option to follow your detox with. So that's really where I'm coming from, and of course that's what I work with my patients on as well. Just a little plug here, I do work with people globally. I have patients in Australia, Canada, you know, and in Africa. So, you know, it's something that you might want to consider as well.
Great stuff. One quick one before you go. Treatment by CBD, what's your thoughts?
Treatment by which, Dave?
CBD. That's just written in here. What are your thoughts on treatment via CBD? I wasn't sure what that was either. Rich, if you can type in exactly what that is, because you don't know what that is, Marilyn, no?
No, I don't.
Oh,
and I'm not
it is.
positive I'm actually hearing it right. But
cannabinoids.
The DIA is D-A-I-Y-A, by the way, just to make that clear for everybody. D-A-I-Y-A. But I'm not seeing even in the chat. Am I missing something? Oh, questions. There it is. I'm sorry. Not seeing the question here. So I don't know what
you might see that section. Cannabinoids is what Rich is after putting in for CBD. Cannabinoids. Have you heard of that?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Okay. Send me an email with more information on it, and I'll pass it on to Marilyn, and she can get back to you on her opinion on it, okay?
You know, that's the thing. If anybody has any questions that they are not getting answered, pass them on. Go to the facebook.com/kick cancer in the can, all spelled out, and then put your questions in there, because that's where I can, one, either answer them on that page or answer them on the radio shows, you know, or the podcast, the weekly quick tips. Those are the kinds of things that, you know, it's those questions that are, I can research it, I can go through my files, and I can put the answers in for anybody if I have them there. So that would be the best way to handle that, I think.
Okay, great stuff. There's other questions. What I've been saying to people is, you know, email me on the questions, or like Marilyn has said, post it to her Facebook or wherever you can contact her, and we'll get answers to everything. So just make sure, again, you know, contact us with your questions that haven't been answered, because there are quite a few. Marilyn, I know you have to go. You're under pressure to get ready for a client, so, you know, I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank you so much for, again, giving us your precious time and a wonderful presentation on, what I've said. This is not just life-changing information, this is potentially life-saving information. And just keep up the mission you have. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful life that you lead, helping people and educating and, saving lives as well.
Thank you so much, Dave. It's been an honor and a privilege to speak to your audience and to share with them anything that I possibly could in the time. I'm sorry it was not as much time as we normally have, but with this time change thing that went on, the oops we had with the time, because of the daylight savings time on this past weekend here in America, it kind of interfered. So.
Exactly. But sure, look, it was an amazing presentation. You fitted a hell of a lot in. And sure, we look forward to having you on again in the future, and you'll be on Formula for Success live in May as well. So you'll be part of that too.
Yes.
So
bright and early in the morning.
Exactly. So keep up the great work, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon. Everybody, thank you for being on and investing your time in coming on this webinar. Check your email tomorrow for access to replay. It'll be there for 48 hours. So watch it again yourself, plus also share with your friends and family. Anyone you know who needs the information. Also, I will give you the slide with this information of all Marilyn's websites, phone numbers, etc. So you can keep up to date and keep following her information. And just keep taking action. Again, as I always say, knowledge isn't the power. The power is taking the action and implementation of that knowledge. So go and take lots of action this week. All right, so we'll speak to you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.